months ago, Tyrese Haliburton was voted the most overrated player in the NBA. Well, 2 months later, he's in the NBA Finals and is tied for third all-time in most NBA playoff game winners since 1997. So what's happened in 2 months to go from this to this? Over a year ago, maybe close to 2, I said I think Tyrese Haliburton has a chance to be the next face of the NBA. And someone who I actually think has one of the best shots to be the face of the league is Tyrese Haliburton. Here's the crazy part though. The Pacers have trailed by 15 or more in 8 games this postseason. The crazy part is that they've won 5 of those games. So basically what that's saying is like, if you're leading the Pacers, you're more likely to blow your lead than to actually win. Game winner, round 1 against the Bucks. Tyrese Haliburton going at Giannis Antetokounmpo. He hits a layup with 1.3 seconds left for the win for the series. So people saw that and thought, well, Milwaukee was kind of banged up. Obviously, Dame wasn't there, and that is 100% true. So people were thinking, okay, good job, Tyrese, but let's see what happens next. They were going on to face the number 1 seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, who were a lot of people's pick to come out of the East. And to be fair to the Cavs, they also did have their share of injuries. Darius Garland is now out for 4 to 5 months. And that's not to take anything away from what the Pacers have done, but I'm just saying it goes both ways. The Pacers have absolutely earned this trip to the NBA Finals, but it also takes a little bit of luck. How much luck? Well, the Cavs were up 7 points with 57 seconds to go. In any game, even in this era, if you're up 7 with 57 seconds to go, it's game over. Not for Tyrese Haliburton and this Indiana Pacers team. When we say no lead is safe, no lead is safe. So they beat the Cavs in pretty easy fashion, as a lot of people would say, but still people were thinking, including myself, like I'm not excluding myself, I didn't think this Pacers team was going to the finals, but people were saying, okay, the Cavs also were a little banged up and seemed to, not show up for the moment as we thought they would. So now you go play a New York Knicks team whose literal identity is grind it out and we will come back on you. Remember what they did to the Boston Celtics? Came back game 1 and game 2 at Boston, 2 20-point deficits, and won both those games. They were the clutch team, the team that got it done, clutch. Jalen Brunson, we know, is the clutch player of the year. In the fourth quarter, it was always the Knicks. And Indiana beat them at their own game because the Pacers trailed with 14 with less than 3 minutes to go. And they were down 9 in the final minute. Like I said, the Pacers earned all these comebacks and they never give up and they won. But also a little bit of luck because the Tyrese Haliburton bounce shot is 1 in a million. Like, that is a never again shot. It doesn't matter how it happened. A win is a win. So the Pacers do what the Knicks do to everybody else. Walk them down in the fourth quarter. And they've been doing it to everybody in this playoffs. And again, Tyrese Haliburton with the game winner. Well, game-tying shot in this game, but you know what I mean. Now we go to the NBA Finals. The Thunder are the team that a lot, if not most people, thought were coming out of the West, which they did, and were the clear-cut, like not even close favorites to win the final. I did not pick OKC to come out of the West. However, once it was clear that they were going to come out of the West, I thought they were the favorite. They were my second choice to come out of the West, so it's not like I had them far away, but they were my number 2 choice. Regardless, once they were clearly going to come out of the West, I thought it was a done deal for OKC as well. My only concern for OKC, which was my concern before the playoffs started, and I made it clear in previous videos, is their lack of experience. I feel like that's really shown up throughout the playoffs, but they have been able to correct it from game to game. And so we will see what happened in games 4, but it has happened in the finals too. Because the shots that they were taking in game 3 towards the end, Chet and Jalen Williams, were rookie shots. And I don't blame them for taking those shots because they've never been there and they have no experience. Like, I don't fault them for not knowing that they shouldn't have taken a shot at that moment, whatever shot it was. Like, there was a shot that Chet took towards the end of the game. I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was a 3 or whatever it was. Watching it happen, I felt like I was watching in slow motion because I'm like, no, that's not the right shot. I don't mean he doesn't know, like he doesn't know. I'm saying in the moment, never been there before, the pressure, the stakes, like it makes you potentially do things that you wouldn't normally do. And so it was a shot that was a rookie shot. That's the best way I can explain it. So I say all that to say, the concerns I had about OKC has manifested throughout this playoffs, but again, they've been able to correct it, and we'll see what happens in game 4. I expect them to come out and be able to win Game 4. But back to Tyrese Haliburton and this Cinderella run for the Indiana Pacers. Like I said, everybody was OKC in 5. I'm sure some people said OKC in a sweep. Like, nobody thought this was going more than 6, I guess. And I didn't really hear 6. I saw 5. And the Pacers come out and again steal Game 1. Pacers literally did not lead until the end. Thunder had a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, and the Pacers walked them down. And who hit the game winner again? None other than Tyrese Haliburton. By the way, just to go back to the stats, do you see his percentage? Absolutely crazy. 5 for 6. He is 83% in clutch shots. You see the percentages of everybody else? There are 2 players on the list who are 50%. That's Chris Middleton and Reggie Miller. And everybody else, it's, Jimmy Butler. Oh, wait, down the bottom, sorry. All right, I take that back. Jimmy is 60%, which makes sense. We know Jimmy, clutch. And Trae Young, good for him, 3 for 3. Still, 83% is still a crazy percentage. Now the Pacers are up 2-1 on the Thunder, which I don't think anybody predicted except for Pacers fans. So instead of overrating Tyrese Haliburton, did we all underrate this Indiana Pacers team? I think 2 things can be true. I think majority of us underrated this team. I am one of them. I did not see this coming. I think part of this has to do with the parity in the league now that we have. And so a lot of teams are more, I guess, evenly matched, if you want to say. Like, there are no super teams in this league. Personally, I like super teams. I wish we would get back to some super teams. I like them. I think they're fun. But regardless, this current NBA is parity, not super teams. Let me be clear. I mean super teams or like dynasties that like actually work. So I guess dynasty is a better word. I don't mean just putting 5-star players together. I mean like dynasties. I like dynasties, which usually end up being like kind of super teams. Like they go hand in hand. Because there's none of that, it seems like more teams have a chance every single game, every single playoff series. Like the discrepancy is not as large as it once was. But at the same time, Indiana doesn't get there by just luck. There was some luck involved. There always is. You have to have good luck in the playoffs, good things to break for you. But Indiana earned this trip to the NBA Finals. No doubt about it. Have multiple guys who believe, who come off the bench, who do what they're supposed to do, and they never get tired. I don't know what kind of conditioning program they have over there, but I think some people need to go see what they do because they don't get tired. If the Indiana Pacers win this championship, just like Tyrese Haliburton's tweet about overrate that aged very well, my take on Tyrese Haliburton being the next face of the NBA might be the next take that ages very well also.